Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Become a Fluent English Speaker. Today's English listening podcast is about something that affects every part of your life. Whether you realize it or not, it is the way you talk to yourself. Every single day, you have thousands of thoughts running through your mind. Some of those thoughts encourage you, while others hold you back. Some build confidence, while others create doubt. And over time, those thoughts become the voice that shapes how you see yourself and your future. This is why self-talk is so powerful. The words you repeat to yourself every day eventually become the beliefs you live by. Think about it for a moment. Imagine two people facing the exact same challenge. One person says, "I'll probably fail. I'm not good enough. I never get things right." The other person says, "This will be difficult, but I can learn. I can improve. I can figure this out." Both people face the same situation, but their internal conversations are completely different. And because of that, their actions, confidence, and results are often very different as well. Your self-talk influences your behavior more than you may realize. One of the biggest problems many people face is that they speak to themselves in ways they would never speak to a friend. If a friend made a mistake, you might encourage them. You might tell them to keep going and not give up. But when you make a mistake, you may criticize yourself harshly. You may call yourself incapable, unlucky, or unsuccessful. Over time, this negative self-talk slowly damages confidence and motivation. The mind listens to what you repeatedly tell it. Now, this does not mean you should ignore your weaknesses or pretend that every situation is perfect. Positive self-talk is not about lying to yourself. It is about speaking to yourself in a realistic and constructive way. Instead of saying, "I always fail," you can say, "I made a mistake, but I can learn from it." Instead of saying, "I'm terrible at this," you can say, "I'm still improving." These small changes may seem insignificant, but repeated consistently, they can completely change your mindset. The power of self-talk becomes especially important during difficult times. When life becomes challenging, your inner voice often becomes louder. If that voice constantly tells you to quit, doubt yourself, or expect failure, it becomes harder to move forward. But if your inner voice reminds you of your strength, your growth, and your ability to adapt, you become more resilient. Resilience is often built through the stories we tell ourselves during hard moments. Another reason self-talk matters is because it affects confidence. Confidence is not simply the result of achievements, it is also influenced by the way you interpret your experiences. Two people can achieve the same result and feel completely different about themselves. One person focuses on progress and growth. The other focuses only on flaws and imperfections. The difference often comes down to their internal dialogue. Let's talk about communication for a moment. Many people want to become better speakers, more confident communicators, and more fluent English speakers. But before you improve your communication with others, you should improve your communication with yourself. If your internal dialogue is full of doubt, fear, and criticism, those emotions often appear in your conversations as well. Strong communication starts with a healthy relationship with your own mind. One practical way to improve self-talk is by becoming aware of your thoughts. Throughout the day, pay attention to how you speak to yourself. Notice the moments when you become overly critical. Notice the negative assumptions you make. Once you become aware of those patterns, you can begin replacing them with more constructive thoughts. Awareness is the first step toward change. Another helpful habit is using encouraging language during challenges. Instead of asking, "Why am I so bad at this?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I can improve with practice." These simple shifts create a growth mindset. They move your attention away from limitations and toward possibilities. Remember that your brain responds to repetition. The thoughts you repeat most often become stronger over time. If you constantly repeat negative messages, your mind begins to accept them as truth. But if you consistently reinforce positive, realistic, and empowering beliefs, your mindset gradually changes. This is why successful people often pay close attention to their internal dialogue. They understand that their thoughts influence their actions, and their actions influence their future. As you continue your personal growth journey, make it a habit to become your own supporter instead of your own enemy. Encourage yourself. Be patient with yourself. Recognize your progress. Learn from mistakes without allowing them to define you. Self-respect begins with the way you speak to yourself when no one else is listening. Now, before we finish today's English listening podcast, I want you to write something in the comments. What is one positive sentence you would like to start telling yourself every day? And if you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe to become a fluent English speaker for more English listening practice, communication skills, confidence building, and self-improvement content. This is Laura, and remember, the most important conversation you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. I'll see you in the next podcast. Keep growing.